These are all the tools I'm going to be needing, and I will get started now. Step 1 is the front panel. That's that done. Step 2 is to unplug the PCIe slot thingies that you got here. That. You put that to the side. Step 3, unscrew the GPU. Now, step 4 is, oh fuck, that works. Okay, now that was a bit peculiar. Normally, I was gonna say, don't pulley ends, because there's a little tab at the back here that is supposed to lock back the GPU to stop it from falling out of the socket. But for some reason there, as soon as I pulled, it just all came off. Interesting. Anyway, you want to put your GPU somewhere that isn't static, so I'm going to put it on my mouse mat, because that is nice and safe. And I just realised I wasn't using my anti-static the whole time. Time to use this one, and put that GPU in that one, yay. Step 1, the glass front panel. Almost forgot, you got to unplug the PCIe. Fuck, shit. Just like that, easy as hell. Now, like before, don't pulley ends. You want to release the tab at the back, make sure that's back, and then if it's done enough, then you should be able to just easily slide the GPU out. Alright, now sometimes when you are when you're doing this with the GPU, you've got to unplug some cables, so I've just done that, so now I can remove the GPU, nice and easy, and now we're going to put it in this PC. GPU's in, and now I've got to screw it up. Okay, GPU is screwed in, so now all we need to do is plug the PCIe back into it, and then see how it runs. Okay, I don't know why, but that was like one of the hardest tasks ever, getting that fucking PCIe slot in here. Why? Why was that so difficult? It's like, for some reason, with this GPU, the PCIe is reversed, so I put it in this way round. So the GPU is upside down like that, in the slot, and I put them in upside down there. Or maybe this one is upside down. I don't know, whichever one it is, I don't like them, that they're reversed. Fucking hate that. That's the glass front panel, and then the last thing I need to do is put this shield back on here to prevent dust.
Just gonna be dusty.
And that's that done. Now I'm gonna plug it back into here, in this area, uninstall my RX 5700 XT drivers, install the 590 drivers, and then see how it performs. If it's better, and it's using 100% of the GPU, then I know it's the 5700 XT that is the problem. But if it is the same, then it means one of two things. Number one, it is the drivers, like the AMD drivers, because recently they have been a bit fucking all over the place. And number two, it could be that there is something else in my system that is bottlenecking me. But the only thing that I can think of right now is, like, when I was pulling the GPU out, the GPU just kind of fell out without me having to tug on the release tab, which raises a concern for me that maybe the slot itself is loose. I would like to use the reinforced PCIe slot down the bottom, but I've got this, like, thing here that sticks up. And as you can see already, this GPU is like quite close to touching it. So you can't see the PCIe slot right now, but it's like right here. It's right under the GPU. And I think I could fit it in, but I'd have to like saw off something there. And that's for another time if it is. Okay, so I've just powered it up. The lights are on right there. So it's definitely got power, but let's see. Oh, why have the monitors turned off? Oh, never mind, okay. That was just not touching it, okay. Nothing is... Oh, shit! Ethernet cable! I forget, I don't have a internet cable in this, so I use Ethernet. I knew I was forgetting something. Uninstalling the 5700 drivers. Restarting. So this is a bit surprising. I uninstalled the drivers, but for some reason, I still have activeness in my second monitor, which is strange because it shouldn't. Maybe not. Okay, drivers are now installing for the 590. Let's see. Installing still. How is the desk coming along?
Yeah,
Good. And I am now installing version 20.3.1 onto this. And just like that, we have our GPU up and running. 2000 megahertz, fucking hell, that's fast. And it says up here, it's the RX 590. Let's hit it with a quick restart. and then see how it performs. Launch RS6 and see what we get. Now we're doing a benchmark test. We're getting about 90% utilization, but not the greatest in frames. It's like a bit less than what I would normally get. Although, keep in mind, this is actually ultra settings I'm playing on right now. So, I've set it to ultra settings specifically for this this benchmark. And then I'll put it on low settings afterwards and see how we do. The thing is with my other GPU is, whenever I play on ultra settings, it is on 100% utilization, but very low FPS when it is. So we averaged out about 140. Now let's put it onto low settings and see how we do then. Now that is what we're looking for. That is not what we're looking for. That is. As long as it's over 144, at like more than half the time, I'm happy. But we're on about 70% utilization right now, more or less. So, as long as we're running high, you know, that's good. Average 174, minimum 91. Okay, seems pretty good. So, to an unsurprising conclusion, I'm running about the same as I would if I had my 5700 XT, which is kind of sad because the utilization is actually higher than what it would normally be, but I'm running the same FPS, which means the drivers are bottlenecking me, which is sad. In fact, it's a little bit less than it would be normally because it's dropping below 100. On certain maps it is higher and lower, so it's not too surprising, but yeah, it's about the same, kind of. Well, that's a huge letdown, which means now I've got to go to the add or remove programs thing again, remove the AMD software, download it for the 5700 again, and then put my 5700 back into the PC. Yay. Drivers, yay. Alright, drivers are installed, shutting down the PC now, unplugging this shit, putting the GPU back in that one, putting my 5700 over there back in this one, and then we're done. Alrighty, haven't been filming much, but I got the GPU in. I've changed up the PCIe slot, so instead of it being here like it was before, it's now one up. But the small problem with that is it's now touching with the heatsink that is the size of my head. I still don't think that was the wisest choice for buying such a massive heatsink, but CPU stays cool. And hey, just gotta put the front panel on now on both of the PCs and I'm done. After a really long period of time, I've managed to get it all set up again. Drivers set up, task manager up, I'm loading up Siege now. He's first gotten his PC back up working like it was before. What's not plugged in?
Fucking keyboard. This is a defective keyboard as well. You press G, it fucking has a fucking epic.
Oh no, that's not defective. That's something I did in the IQ. It's a macro. I can disable that for you in seconds.
Oh well, that'd be nice if you would, then I can type fucking shit on it.
Get nay-nayed. Here we go, then you go here. Actions. Recorded macro. Yeah, you sit set to full button. So let's just set it to DPI down, for example.
Which means what?
It doesn't mean anything. And now, look. If I open Google Chrome. G.
Cool.
Everything's fine.
Why was it doing that with the G anyway?
It's a macro I had installed for when I used to play Fortnite. Are you happy now, Dad?
I will be if it works.
Okay, Fatso. And this is kind of sad.
What's going on now?
Running exactly what I was running before. The only thing is I'm running about 30% of my GPU as opposed to before with the 5700 running at 70. So clearly it must be some sort of like thing in the software that's like slowing everything down to run at 100 FPS. I don't know why, like literally it's optimizing itself to run 100 FPS. Like, I can move around, and I'm getting like, I don't understand it, bro. Well, looks like I'm going to be getting an Nvidia card when this whole pandemic thing is over. I know it's running this right now, but that's only because we're on this screen. Once I'm in the game itself, it runs 100 FPS, which is so sad. I fucking hate it. And just as a little bonus before we end it off, I got an alpha pack at the end of that match, so let's just fucking yeet. Cool, don't care.